Hello, and welcome to the FL Studio video tutorial on how to hook up your MIDI controller. First, let's go through what items you'll need to have in order to accomplish this. A MIDI-capable controller, such as a keyboard. One MIDI cable for sending messages to FL Studio. Two MIDI cables if you want to send messages out of FL Studio as well. A MIDI interface, such as your sound card with MIDI in-outs, and of course, FL Studio. First, take one of your cables and plug one end of it in to the MIDI out of your controller. In this case, we're using a MIDI-capable keyboard. Take the other end of that same cord and plug it to the MIDI in of your sound card. Now, turn the power on to your controller, computer, and any external hardware that you're going to be using. Then, start up FL Studio. Go to the top of the FL screen and open MIDI Preferences, located in Options, MIDI Settings. Or you can just use F10 on your typing keyboard. In MIDI settings, you will want to choose the sound card MIDI interface that you will be using. This will be different for each person depending on what sound card MIDI interface you have. For remote control input, select the appropriate sound card MIDI interface that you are using. For controller type, select generic unless you have one of the interfaces listed and are planning to use it as your controller. Now, under Options, make sure there is a check mark next to Enable MIDI Remote Control. You should now be ready to control FL Studio with your controller. Push a key on your controller. You should hear a sound. If not, look at the light in between the hint bar and the master volume slider. It should light orange if messages are being received by FL Studio. If not, make sure you followed all the instructions properly. If you can hear a sound from FL Studio, then all that's left to do is record something. First, pick a generator. Enable Record. For this, I'm also going to push Start on MIDI Input. That will make it so FL Studio doesn't record until I start playing. Then, push the play button. And that's all there is to it.